about Pinterest. I firmly believe that the new year is the best time to start using Pinterest if you aren't already on it. And if you are on it, then you already know how motivational it can be. Today I'm going to share with you my tips on how to use Pinterest for motivation and how Pinterest can help you in the year 2023. I have a few other Pinterest videos on my channel that have popped off. They have gone what I would consider semi-viral. If you haven't seen them, you should go watch them now because, like I said, they blew up. You should go watch them before you see this one. But if you have seen them, I hope that this video will give you some new information that you don't already know. So let's get into it. So if you're new to Pinterest, you may not know exactly what it is, and if you are, this is the perfect place for you to be. I have used Pinterest for years. It is my favorite social media. It is my most used social media, and I have, let's look here, over 10,000 pins on my profile. So, needless to say, I'm on Pinterest quite a bit. Pinterest is unlike any other social media out there in terms of how you connect with other people on the platform. Pinterest allows you to create your own, basically, community, as well as have your own space on the platform itself. You have your own page where you can pin other people's pins. You can make your own pins, which is something I'm going to be talking about today. And it is such a non-toxic platform. I have found Pinterest to be the most motivational platform or website in general for me to use. I'm always finding something new on Pinterest that motivates me or gets me to want to try something, and that is what I find so special about Pinterest, just in a nutshell. So most people during the new year set goals for themselves, which is something that I really relate to. I love setting New Year's goals, and I'm always using Pinterest to help me with those goals. So in this section of the video, I want to talk about idea pins because that's kind of a newer feature. It's not brand new, it's been out for a while, but it's newer than the other videos that I filmed. I didn't mention them at all because it wasn't around when I filmed those. So idea pins are essentially pins that you can use to make videos with. It can be a little confusing because you can have videos be normal pins as well. Think of idea pins as more of like Reels, like from Instagram. It's kind of the equivalent to Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. It's kind of their version of that TikTok-esque video. Idea pins are different from normal pins because you can add music, you can add text on them, as well as add like ingredient lists or supply lists if that's something that you're making with your idea pin. So I have created quite a few idea pins in my day. I love making my own pins, and I kind of use Pinterest as like a dump place for me to put anything I want to and not worry about how it looks on my page. I will put anything and everything on there. So here's an example of one idea pin that I made. I actually made it for TikTok as well, and I uploaded it both to TikTok and to my Pinterest. Idea pins work the exact same as normal pins in terms of how you can save them, but as I mentioned, it's more like people just repost TikToks on there for the most part. Idea pins also work like Instagram Reels in the way where you can swipe up and just keep watching them, whereas normal pins are what you'll find on your Pinterest homepage. I am going to screen record here and show you guys just a little bit of how I personally use idea pins to be motivational. So when you're on your Pinterest homepage, this is mine, you can see that there's two different categories on top here. There's browse and there's watch. Watch is going to be your idea pins. So this is all idea pins that people have posted. For example, this one that's playing right now is kind of outfit inspo by this girl that I follow, Eleanor Ross. You should go follow her. She is amazing. I love her style. This is just a sample of an idea pin. And if I were to scroll up, this one is 1 week of drinking liquid chlorophyll for my skin, and they have a tag here, so this is probably sponsored or an ad, but this is kind of what you'll see. You can see that it was made on TikTok and posted to Instagram. So there are options here for what you can do. You can like one, which is literally just liking it. You can send it to someone. That's what the second one down here is. You can send it somewhere, and then you can comment on it as well as you do normally. And then this little bookmark is saving it to a board. So if I wanted to save this one, let's go back up to the outfits one here. If I wanted to save this to my outfits board, I could do it basically at the drop of the hat. It's really, really easy. When you love an idea pin, I don't think it saves it to your actual Pinterest. You would have to save it to a board from there. So this one, repurposing our old headboard, this one is a great example of how I like to use idea pins, because like I said, for the most part, I use them as ideas on what I want to do for like a future home or DIYs. But this is just an example of how easy it is to get inspired by using idea pins. Also, I did want to show you guys my personal example of a board that I use for motivation. The board that I want to share with you guys that I have is called Future Manifestations. So here is that board. I have 6 different sections in here. I have them separated, and this board is very specific to me because they are goals that I want to see from my future. I do have my vision boards in here as well. These are all the pictures that I've put on my vision boards throughout the past 2 years. So I have my vision board from 2022, all the pins that I used in there, and then my most recent one, which is my vision board for 2023. One that I've been adding a lot to recently is home. I don't know why I'm like this, but I'm always looking towards the next thing that I can do. So now that I have built out my RV and I'm done renovating that, I'm like, what should I do when I have a house? That is something that I've always been like that. I will look forward to the future. It's like, okay, I'm enjoying what I have now, but what can I do next? I'm constantly doing that. But I've been adding a lot to this one, and it's kind of, I'm going to show you guys the specific example because I have very, very specific things in here. So for my home section in my future manifestation board, you can see I have particular items that I have saved. So these first 2 here are things that I want in my house when I have one. The first one just being a mug warmer, like you set the mug on it and it keeps it warm, your coffee warm. The next thing next to it is a Bluetooth speaker. It is so expensive, I don't know why. I have idea pins in here as well of videos of people who have done DIYs to their house that I really like. Little office tours, desk tours, how this girl built her headboard, which I showed you a little bit ago. I put an espresso in here because I want an espresso when I have a house. And then I have more like, not as specific items down here, just like how I want my house to look. I'm obsessed with modern farmhouse style, in love with it. Any house that has like white siding, black roof, and wood columns, I'm in love with. It's in my dream house. I have a porch picture on here because no matter where I live, I want to have at least a porch, ideally a wraparound porch. I have a picture of an ice maker because that's just an item that I want. Some of these pictures down here I actually took when I was living in the Fargo Moorhead area. I would take pictures of houses that I drove by that I really liked, and I posted them in here as well. So I hope you found that helpful. That's really just an example of a board that I have that I use all the time to put my goals into. I'm very specific with the type of pictures that go into this board. If it's not perfect to the tiniest detail, I don't put it in there. And so I don't have a ton of pins in there. I think there's 27 pins in my home board, and that is gonna grow over time. That's not something that I'm just constantly adding to. The next thing I want to talk about is uploading your own pins to Pinterest. This is something I've more recently become accustomed to, and I really, really like doing, and something I encourage regular Pinterest users to do as well. Here's my Pinterest profile. As you can see, I've created a ton of pins on here. These are all my idea pins that I've made. I've got all different sorts of things. I've got ones that are just pictures that I've kind of collaged together because they're the same kind of thing. I have some TikToks that I made. I've just got videos that I posted. these are just so random, but they're all things that I thought were Pinterest worthy, so I put them on here. The reason I'm such a big advocate for people posting their own pins on Pinterest is A, it's fun. I love editing my photos for Pinterest. It's like a whole side hobby that I have of just sitting and making a picture aesthetic to how I want it to look like. Literally, it is such a creative outlet for anybody. Not only is it a creative outlet, but it makes your boards catered so much more to who you are as a person. I'm a huge believer in that we need to be romanticizing our own lives instead of other people's. Uploading a photo to Pinterest seems so small and insignificant, but looking at your life in a way that you believe that it belongs on Pinterest is such a game changer in your mindset. If you take a picture of yourself per se, I have a specific one, I'll put it on the screen here. It's on my vision board for 2023. I feel like such a main character in this photo. I'm obsessed with this photo. I love how I am. I love the confidence that I'm exuding. It's not just how my body looks. So I put it on my vision board. It's on my Pinterest. It's in multiple of my Pinterest boards. And I will be real with you. I know I'm not the skinniest gal out there. I don't need to be. I have the confidence in that photo that every single person should have. And I, needless to say, think that everyone should feel that way about themselves, no matter what they look like. And the more photos I upload to Pinterest, the more I realize that everyone is just a normal person. It's just what they choose to put online. And it really has helped my self-confidence. It truly has. And it's, like I said before, it seems like such a small thing, just putting something on social media, but you have to make it more than that. In your head, you have to realize your life is Pinterest worthy, no matter who you are. All right, the final thing that I want to talk about with you today is how to curate your homepage. This is something I've started doing more recently. I've done it a few times in the past. There is a way that you can say that you don't want to see a specific type of pin on Pinterest. So let's start screen recording here, and I'm going to show you how to hide pins. So I'm on my homepage here, and look at that. First picture that pops up is a girl with rock hard abs in a bikini. I don't mind this picture. I wouldn't normally hide it. I would just scroll past it. But I would like to see girls that look like me. Just for this example, I'm going to show you how to hide this pin. Let's say I didn't want it on my page. So there's these three little dots down here next to every single pin. If I were to click, I clicked on the pin, but whatever. If you click these three little dots, you can see actually that this pin was inspired by my 21 plus board, which is literally just a board with like alcohol recipes in it. So I don't know why it was inspired by that one. I really like that they show you which board they're inspired to show these pins from, because then you can kind of know the source of the images that you don't want to see. But there's a couple things you could do here. You could just click hide, and then it'll just hide the pin and it'll stop showing you ones that are similar to the pin itself. Or you could stop seeing pins inspired by that board all entirely. So I'm just gonna click hide here, and it says, why did you hide this pin? You don't have to fill this out, but let's say it's irrelevant to me or other because, you know, it doesn't help with your self-confidence, you just don't wanna see it. So I click other and it's gone. And it will completely rechange your homepage so that you don't see anything that you don't want to. Another feature that is available, I'm not gonna lie, I just learned about this, but it can really help you tune your home feed, and I don't know if it is available on the phone, but you might have to go onto a computer for this. If you go to your account settings, there's a place you can tune your home feed, and you can toggle on and off which boards you want to see recommendations from, which is so cool. Didn't know you could do that until very recently. But that's just another way you can really hone in on what you want to see on your homepage. So go check out that feature if you're seeing things that you do not want to see. I've had to do this in the past because I remember specifically one time I was scrolling and I saw a picture of someone smoking weed, and I didn't want to see that. I am not a drug person, don't like drugs, so I immediately hid that pin from my board because, or from my page, because I don't want to see people smoking weed. That is not my vibe. So I got that shit out of there. That's just a personal example of something that I've hidden, but it just goes to show that Pinterest is, at the end of the day, an algorithm. They don't know you, they don't know who you are. So if you aren't a drinker and you don't want to see people drinking alcohol, hide that shit. Get it away. 2023 is the year that we are setting our personal boundaries. So if you see things on your Pinterest profile that hurt your feelings, make you triggered in any way, make you feel bad about yourself, hide them. Get them out. Go. Get away. No, we don't want any more of that energy. We're in 2023. We are only looking at things that serve us. I'm so glad we had that talk. I really hope you learned something either about Pinterest or maybe even about yourself in this video. If you did, make sure you subscribe and watch these videos here, because I think if you like this one, you will like these videos as well. That is it for today. I love you so, so much, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.